Podcast, part of the Morning Nose Podcast Network. In the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and Chris. Chris, give me an old man take today.
Let me tell you something about this punk that keeps coming out into the ring every week, all right? You know what he does have? Because I heard him talk about how he has heart, how he has talent, how he has a whole lot of crap. I know what he has. A whole lot of medical bills because all he does is get hurt.
Wow. Easy, Drew. So you don't like CM Punk? Shocking.
Yeah, no, don't. I am so excited for this match. I gotta tell you, I'm happy. I do foresee another injury for Punk after this match, so we probably won't be able to see him in a ring again for another 7 months. So we'll see what they do after this, but I think it's looking good for my boy Drew.
So, Rod, question for you. Did the blouse that Seth Rollins was wearing, did that up your interest or kind of cool your interest in the match?
Damn you. I got to stop texting you. I got to stop texting you some of my thoughts before we record these episodes because you're just going to lead me right into one thing I don't want to talk about. Listen, I am the number one Seth Rollins defender on this podcast, all right? Last week, Jimmy, you yelled at me. You yelled at me about my love for Seth Rollins and Charlotte Flair, and I will wear that like a badge of honor. But even I, a man who loves the visionary, who loves the revolutionary, who has a Monday Night Rollins t-shirt, even I cannot justify the blousey kind of shoulder patty deal tucked into the pants that Seth Rollins had going on for his referee. Like that's just, even I can't defend that one, Jimmy. I can't.
Puffy shirt-esque is what I would call it.
He doesn't want to be a pirate.
No, I think he does. Listen, you have a feud, this blood feud between two people. Can you take that seriously with what he was wearing? I don't think so. It's his gimmick. It's what he does. And he just said, just wait until he couldn't even walk, dude. Those pants were so tight.
Well, I think maybe the boots were in play as well. The zebra skin boots that were black and white. I think maybe those were in play too. We had heels on the boots. I mean, listen, Jim, there was a lot happening. There was tight pants. There was zebra skin boots. There was a blouse referee shirt. You know what I mean? There were checkered sunglasses. Like there was a lot happening. All right. My man looked good. He's always bringing charismatic things to the ring, but Jimmy, I don't know. What kind of match are we having? I mean, honestly, is it a Seth Rollins match? Have we ever had one of those before in the history of the WWE?
You have to do what I tell you to do. What both of you lay down. Okay. Both of you put on a dress. Okay. I mean, like what's going on here? I don't understand either. Well, that's what I was hot about. Rod, what are you hot about today?
Here's what I'm hot about. Okay. I have not understood a lot of what the Wyatt Six brings to my television screen. They have made me have to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research, a little bit of genealogy, if you will, to figure out family trees and things that are connected. But I didn't think I would have to do research about, is someone's hair real or is it some type of a plant? And then my guy Dexter Lumis shows up in the Wyatt Six, and he's got these long dreadlock kind of things happening. Now, I think to myself, it's been a long time since we've seen Dexter on TV. It's possible that he's grown his hair out, but then he was much better with the real shaved kind of head deal like he had before when he was kind of the Dexter serial killer guy. So I'm disappointed that the Wyatt Six, on top of confusing me, has now made me understand if Dexter Lumis has grown out long hair or not, and I don't like it, Jim.
Well, Chris, we have a blouse and we have hair. This is a wrestling podcast, not a beauty-related one.
Right?
But,
I don't know if that ever. Okay, so here's my take on the Wyatt Six, because it's been a different experience for me than that, because I don't dig into the genealogy. All right, I'm watching as a fan. I'm not worried about the past other than what they've done in their video vignettes. I am just trying to enjoy what I am being given as entertainment. So that being said, I was actually happy to finally get a little bit of in-ring action, more so that's leading to a match in a week. So I like that. I liked seeing Chad Gable get attacked by Nikki Cross or whatever her name is now. So I am enjoying it. Like, I liked the build up. It didn't take as long or was as convoluted to me as when Bray Wyatt came back for the Mountain Dew Midnight Express match or whatever
Pitch
it was.
black. Pitch
Pitch
black.
black.
Show your respect. Mountain
Yep.
Dew.
So
Right here behind me.
so I am enjoying it so far, and I'm excited for the tag match that we get in a week.
Yeah, I think that's going to be cool. I like how they've done it. I love the Dexter Loomis because you knew it. I mean, I knew it was Dexter Loomis, but you still didn't know it was Dexter Loomis. The way he moved, the way he was power bombed. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a pretty cool way to bring them in.
So what you're saying, Jim, is you weren't worried about whether or not his dreadlocks were real or not. That was not a thing that crossed your mind while you were seeing that happen.
That did not cross my mind. What crossed my mind is the transformation he's made. And there's some memes going around where it shows him, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, which is the Dexter Loomis we kind of know. And then now, but he's more over now than he was in his last WWE.
What are we calling Nikki Cross, though? Chris brought this up. Is she supposed to be Sister Abigail, Jim? Is that what we're
I guess. Yeah, I think we call her Sister Abigail for right now.
And then was there a Sister Abigail before, or is she a new deal? Because but before it was just his finisher, right?
Yeah, and that's it. There was never a Sister Abigail. There was talks about bringing in a Sister Abigail many, many, many times, but no.
Do you think we're going to see Alexa Bliss at any point?
Oh, of course we'll see Alexa Bliss. I think we'll see her for sure.
How soon?
Know when. I don't know, because who's coming back? When are they coming back?
Nobody's coming back at SummerSlam, Jim, and I'm sure we're going to get into this.
Yeah,
really?
So.
Okay, let's get into it. You're the host.
Yeah, let's talk about SummerSlam now. We talked about the one of the biggest matchups. It probably should be the main event, but I think that the Cody Rhodes Sikoa match is going to be the main event. But we do have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. We talked a little bit about this last week. I feel that Seth Rollins is going to somehow screw over CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre will get the win here, setting up a Punk and Rollins feud, and then setting up a culmination feud between McIntyre and Punk down the line. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Drew's going to win. Of course Drew's going to win. Why would I root for anybody else?
Not who you're rooting for. See, Rod just left. Rod didn't even care.
Listen, Drew needs this win. All right, I'm tired of seeing him get screwed over. All right, like, give him something. Give us a positive to go across, and he can lord that over CM Punk, like you said, for a future thing on down the line. History, from what you guys have told me, makes more sense if it's Rollins versus CM Punk, right? Like, that's a more natural feud than what the McIntyre Punk one is.
Well, no, I think this is a natural feud because people don't really know if they hate each other or not. I think Punk and Rollins is a nice secondary feud moving forward, but you don't want to have a Rollins and McIntyre feud, I guess is what you might have been trying to say as well. I don't see that. They've already kind of done that a little bit. So let's move on to something different, Rod.
Here's what we will see. All right. We will see a finish on Saturday that doesn't give us anything. We will have a Undertaker Kane situation where we will all be tuning in to Monday Night Raw to find out the way the match is going to go. That's what I believe. That's what I truly believe. Something will happen where the two men will be sort of, both shoulders are kind of be down, both shoulders are kind of be on one another. Like, Seth will do something like there won't be a finish that anybody is satisfied with, and we will all be waiting with bated breath for all three of these men to come out at the beginning of Raw on Monday night. That's my prediction.
So what you're saying, Rod, is that we're going to have some sort of VAR end of match controversy that won't be able to be remedied until the following Monday Night Raw.
Yes, I am strengthening your case, Chris, for the need for instant replay. And even though last week I shouted you down for having too many investigations, I now am agreeing with your overall sentiment.
Okay. We have the Intercontinental Championship match between Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn kind of stood tall last night. That means Braun Breaker's winning, boys.
I will be the first to say anytime you do a backstage promo, right? A pre-recorded promo, it's always going to be cool. There's really no reason to do one unless you make the person look great for doing it. But Braun Breakers last night was really, really, really smart. Okay. We did the Sami Zayn comedy show. Nothing was really said about it. And then all of a sudden, boom, weeks later, Braun Breakers cutting the promo saying how much does Sami Zayn really care about this anymore because he's focused more on his comedy show. I'm doing extra crunches. I'm doing extra workouts because all I care about is wiping this dude out and being Intercontinental Champion. And all he cares about is his career after wrestling. I don't want to put Sami Zayn in his career after wrestling anytime soon, but I love the promo. So yeah, give me Braun Breaker.
Chris King.
Yep, Braun Breaker. I'm rooting for him. I wanted to see this happen. I feel like we're watching a replay, or like we're getting teleported back in time to see what should have happened the last Premium Live event when they wrestled.
Bailey versus Nia Jax in a match I don't really
Wait a minute, Jimmy, did you predict there?
Did I not? Yeah,
I mean,
Braun Breaker.
we all know you're the expert, Jim, but I mean, come on,
Braun
at least
Breaker. Braun Breaker's
gain the
going.
people with the prediction. Come on.
Because if he loses again, then what? Where's he go?
Exactly. No, exactly. But here's the thing, Jimmy. So you really don't think there's going to be any return? You don't think there's any scenario where like Braun Breaker wins and then all of a sudden, like, you know, somebody we didn't expect to pop up, like all of a sudden Big E shows up back there? Because like Big E did come out recently and say that he got a pretty good report from the doctors.
Yeah. How about Brock Lesnar come out?
Yeah, but he's too big though to do a thing with Breaker, right? Yeah. If he comes out,
I don't
right?
think the big return will be in this match.
Yeah, but you did say earlier you don't think one's coming, and I'm interested in that. So let's keep rolling.
Maybe we'll see. How about Nia Jax and Bailey? Rod, tell me your thoughts on this one.
See, this is where I could see a return here, Jim.
Yeah,
right? This is where I could see a return, right? Like I get what you're saying that maybe they're gonna make us wait on Roman. Maybe they're not gonna give us Jimmy. Maybe Brock Lesnar's not gonna happen here, which you're starting to see a little bit about, right? Clearly, it's not gonna be Robert Lashley. We can't have
Jesse
somebody.
Ventura.
Yeah. What was that about, by the way? Jesse Ventura like only gets to just talk to Triple H by his car.
That's like a huge thing, too, by the way. That is huge.
But then they just stayed with it forever. Like, hey guys, let's just stay with the B-roll of Jesse clearly saying something, but we're not gonna let him say anything. Like, it was just so weird to me.
So you think we're gonna have a return here, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know other than what we're doing, right? I mean, there's got to be something that excites us out of SummerSlam. I talked last week about how people have come back. You look at the things that have happened at the last 3 SummerSlams, somebody has returned that we did not expect. So, yes, Jimmy, yes, give me Charlotte Flair coming back, right? Because I don't see Becky Lynch right now because we hear an awful lot about contracts. It's just one of those things that gets filtered a little bit around Twitter. And I've not heard a damn thing about Becky Lynch's contract, but I've seen a boatload about Charlotte Flair showing people that she's getting closer and closer to 100%. So you yelled at me last week, Jimmy, but I'm bringing up Charlotte Flair again.
All right, Chris, you think Charlotte Flair's coming back? I think Bailey's going to win. Rod, do you think Bailey or Nia Jax?
I like Nia Jax.
Okay, Chris?
So I'm trying to I've thought a lot about this match because
and wait a minute, let me say I don't like Nia Jax. I just think she'll win the match. Pardon me, Chris.
So this is the one women's belt that I don't have as much invested in. I don't feel like I'm invested with this story, right? So what could happen to get somebody like me more invested in this story? And there's a couple ways you could go. Maybe you have Nia Jax win this, and then you set up a Tiffy time type match with Nia moving on forward. But what I think would be better, what would get me more involved in this storyline is if Bailey wins this match and Tiffy time comes in with the money bank contract and then pins Bailey, and then Tiffany has the belt at the end of SummerSlam and then has the feud with Nia.
Wow, coming out of SummerSlam with Tiffy time as champ, Chris, I like it.
That gives us something to think about. That gives us something to talk about. It also sets up a feud. So, Chris, that's a really good prediction. I like that a lot. United States Championship, Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Yeah, we talked a lot about this last week as well. I think LA Knight finally gets his big win in his home city of Cleveland. In Cleveland, people in Cleveland hate Logan Paul, and I think this will blow the proverbial roof off of the stadium. Rod.
Give me Logan Paul. I like Logan Paul here.
Damn you.
I do.
Damn
I
you.
do. I like Logan Paul. His brother just had a documentary come out on Netflix, right? The Paul brothers are still a thing. Like, just give me Jake Paul or Jake, not Jake. Not
Wow,
Jake. Jake might
that's
show
a
up.
surprise.
Jake might show up. Maybe I just did a Freudian slip there, but give me Logan Paul.
Okay. Chris King.
Can't believe you guys call yourselves LA Knight fans. Let me talk to you.
I picked LA Knight.
LA Knight is going to win. He is going to get his U.S. title belt. There is no other option for me to see or envision or not. Our guy's been putting in the work. He is great on the mic. All right, let's give it to him. Let's see what he can do with it. We can give it to him, and then there's going to be that's another 3-match premium live event feud with Logan Paul that takes us back into the beginning of next season's WrestleMania season. So who knows what could happen.
We have Liv Morgan and her shorts versus Rhea Ripley and her tongue. So this is what we got going. I like this
That
match
really
a lot.
sounds bad.
I'm very excited for this match. I think Liv wins. I think something happens that's a little black and white. Uh-oh, did Dom accidentally do something wrong here? And then we get the big blow up later. I don't think the big blow up happens at SummerSlam though. So I think Liv wins, but some stuff happens.
Now I'm
Right.
going all the way. The big
All the
blow up
way.
happens. I'm going all the way. The big blow up happens. Dom screws Rhea here because if we don't get my Charlotte return and if we don't get Roman Reigns, we're going to need some sort of seismic thing that like all the Ryan Satins and the Sean Ross Sapps and the Dave Meltzers, right? That they lead their Twitter accounts and their Facebook pages with, and that will be this. So that's my prediction, Jimmy.
Okay. Chris King.
Oh. You know, I
Short
just
term
Let me
man.
let
George
Chris
Tom.
think for another second because Jimmy, here's the way I look at it. Right, there's no reason to have Liv come out and do her fiery behind the fire promo. Right, we all absolutely knew that that was the way her character was going to morph after what Dominic said to her last week. Right, so the only way to deke us on this situation right now is for Dom to fully turn on Rhea. That's why I predicted what I predicted.
Okay. Chris.
I don't think you're going to see Dom completely turn on Rhea. I think definitely Dom is going to do something and it's going to backfire and it's going to cost Rhea, and then that may evolve into something more, and then you get a Liv Morgan type of feeling like maybe Dom still, I don't know where they're going to go. Like, I still don't know what's going on. I do think Liv leaves this premium live event with the belt around her waist. I think they keep this feud going because it's the best feud on the women's side right now.
How about Rhea wins? Tiffy Time cashes in and she goes with Dom.
Wow,
Everybody loves Dirty Dom. What
Well,
about
Dude, that
Alexa Bliss?
mustache is getting fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's
Chris.
just getting, I mean, his mustache is going to be 6 feet like deep.
I can I
pretty
mean,
soon.
listen, I can admit when another man has a nice mustache, and Dominic Mysterio has a nice mustache, just like Kurt
Yeah.
Russell did in Tombstone.
Damian Priest and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I gotta think Gunther's winning this one. I can see where Priest would. I think Gunther's gonna walk away with the championship here, Chris.
I'm rooting for Priest all the way. All right.
Oh, of course you're rooting for him, but who's gonna win? Damn it!
Yeah, Priest. I
All
am telling you who I'm a fan first, Jimmy. I'm telling you who
I
I'm
know.
rooting for. I'm rooting for Priest. He's going to win. That's who I want to win because you can't root for somebody who calls somebody else a street trash. All right, you just can't do it. All right, I can't root for that guy now. I liked him. I thought he's good in the ring. Still is. Well, I can't root for that jerk anymore. All right, Damian Priest, the Archer of Infamy.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Exactly. Damian Priest all the way.
Jimmy,
Chris, I
you're
love
just
you.
sitting,
I
you're
love
just sitting there in judgment of people like messing up words here tonight. I really hope you don't mess one up by the end of this podcast.
Oh,
You're
I've
just
messed
sitting
up,
here
haven't I?
yeah.
I've messed up. Listen, I mess up my predictions. That's even worse. Let's talk about that.
All
Chris,
right.
what do you think?
Here's the deal. All right. I am going to
Don't
be
mess
the
up
one
that.
guy on the podcast to stick up for Gunther because let's all be real. All right. Let's all be real. We have ran into street trash in our lives. All right. We don't want to call any names out here. All right. But we've all ran into street trash in our life. Right. So it exists. So we can all be mad at Gunther if we want to for pointing out something that is true in American society. All right. But what I think is happening is Gunther is going to wear Priest down the way Gunther wears anybody out in any match that he ever has, because that's why Gunther matches are friggin' great entertainment. Okay. You are so into Gunther losing, and he just continues to get this headlock, get this knee lock, get this arm bar, right? Like he just continues to work the guy over the entire match. He somehow comes out on top, Jimmy. And then as Gunther is standing there raising the belt in the middle of the ring, we hear dun 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 dun, and then Brock Lesnar stands up there with his mohawk, and we are going to be served up Brock Lesnar versus Gunther, moving that towards the end of the year. That's what's happening.
That would be a match.
Rod just defended a guy who inferred that the entire Judgment Day was street trash, which includes Dominic Mysterio, who was
On brand
raised
for
by
Rondo. On brand. Sorry.
raised by Rey Mysterio, who is definitely not street trash. So
Are we sure?
Oh wow!
I mean, I'm just saying. I have not ever hung out with Rey Mysterio for an extended period of time, right? Much the way that the AP had to pull down the story that said JD Vance did not have sex with the couch because they could not confirm whether or not he did or did not have sex with the couch. They had to pull that story down. I'm willing to admit, Chris, that you're probably right that Rey Mysterio was a good father and not street trash. But being that I have not continuously stayed with the Mysterio family for a period of a couple of nights, I don't know.
And with that, we're going to go to the main event now. That's cool. Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. I don't know how this match is going to end. I really don't. I mean, everyone's going to come in and do some stuff. I don't think we have the big return here. I don't. I think Cody Rhodes wins the match here. But there will be a big return coming up for the Clash at Survivor Series in War Games. I think that will definitely happen. But Cody Rhodes walks away here. Rod, do you have any idea how this is going to end?
Yeah, it ends with Solo Sikoa holding the belt up in the middle of the ring.
Let's go.
It ends. All right. Listen,
Wow.
if you want Roman coming back and you want a reason for Roman to come back and set up a feud at Survivor Series, all right, we can sure soft play it and have it be something that nobody cares about with no stakes if Cody Rhodes continues to win the belt. But if you want that, Jimmy, which you just told the people you did, then how that happens is Solo Sikoa and his band of Tonga Vailoans are holding up the belt at the end of that match, all right? And then everybody is sitting there watching Solo holding the belt up in the middle of the ring, just thinking that at some point the Roman Reigns strings are going to play, and they don't. And then the goddamn WWE trademark thing hits in the right corner, and everybody knows it's going to be over, and they're going to be pissed, and they're going to be tuning in on Monday night to watch Raw to not only see what Solo Sikoa and his band of Tonga Vailoans do, but it will also be to see who won the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, Jimmy, because the WWE wants to give a bunch of flowers to USA, not a university, a network on its way out.
Chris King.
This may be the one match I am least interested in. Just
Nia,
because,
No,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, more than Bailey and Nia.
Okay.
I'm. It doesn't interest me that much. I don't expect to see Roman Reigns come back, and even if he did, I'm not a Roman Reigns guy anyway. Like I've already seen him at the Bloodline.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's chop that up a little more, Chris. So fine, you're not a Roman Reigns fan, but his friggin' music hits during this match and you didn't expect it, you're not going to pop the least little bit? Come on, don't bullshit our listeners.
Yeah, no, it's the Bloodline. I expect Bloodline members to come out at a Bloodline match. I mean, that's what happens, all right? They come in, they interfere, they win, or it gets disqualified. Something happens. We see it over and over again. I if Roman comes back, it's better that Solo doesn't have the belt because then there's a real challenge about who's the head of the table. If Solo has the belt, then he's de facto head of the table because has the championship belt. So
You don't
Roman
even know what
doesn't have a
de
leg to
facto
stand on.
means. You don't even know what de facto means and you just threw it out there. What are you talking about here?
I was there when they invented de facto.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcasting network. You're in the ring with the de facto Jimmy, the de facto Rod, and the man who invented de facto, Chris King.
Creed Brothers, again, I'm going to shout you out. All right. Every time you come to the ring in a suit, I'm excited. All right. Creed Brothers, let's go. I like seeing you guys as bad guys. I understand that it falls right in line with, hey, let's bring somebody up who we think the fans might care about. They don't care about him when we turn him to a bad guy, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how it's exciting that you're in suits and you're involved with the Wyatt Six, who people may or may not care about. Thank you.
Goodbye, Ned. Yeah.